Alrighty, let's go ahead and let's ask that major question that confused a lot of folks. That's going to affect them in their pocketbooks, their health, and everything else. So let's ask that question. Alexa, what is Obamacare?
Obamacare, officially called the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act.
Alright guys, this is Old School Will coming at you with another video. Today we're going to talk about these 51 percenters in this country and what exactly going on. So buckle up and get ready because we're going to give it a shot and see what's happening. Alright, I'm back. So I want to take a little time to try to sort this thing out as far as what's going on today. And by doing that, I'm going to introduce you to a little friend of mine that kind of helped me out in this last election cycle as far as deciding on who I was going to put that check mark next to on the ballot box. And I just, for the life of me, don't understand what's going on with the 51 percenters in this country. As we all know, life is short. We're not all guaranteed to be here 10 seconds from now. But I'm seeing a lot of buyer's remorse. In my past, I voted for Democrats, I voted for Republicans, I voted for independents. And I did that by, first of all, doing a little research on each individual. We're so screwed up in this country behind this Democrat, Republican business, we can't really understand how bad we're getting screwed over. And I mean how bad we're getting screwed over. After January 20th of 25, a lot of you, and I do mean that above 51 percenters, may regret some of the decisions you just made. Sad to say, really. But let me get back to that little friend of mine that helps me understand and figure out who individuals are. Because there's a lot. Now, let me just introduce you to her. Her name is this is my little friend. I call her Alexa. How are you doing this morning, Alexa?
I'm feeling merry and bright today, and fa la la feel like singing Christmas carols.
Thank you. When we come back, I had 10 questions that I asked Alexa, and I want you to hear her answers. And this could have really helped us out a lot prior to election time. So a lot of us have been bamboozled, hoodwinked, lied to, and I can use a lot of others. But anyhow, let's see what Alexa has to say about it. Alrighty. As I stated before, I have exactly 10 questions I want to ask my friend over here, and I want you to hear the answers for yourself. And guess what? It could have been easy for any of us to do this. We rely too much on the news media, and other people that don't know themselves. So with all that being said, first question. Alexa, what is a tariff?
As a noun, tariff can have a few meanings. 1. An official list or table showing the duties or customs imposed by a government on imports or exports. 2. The schedule or system of duties so imposed. 3. Any duty or rate of duty in such a list or schedule. 4. Any table of charges, as of a railroad, bus line, etc.
Thank you. Yeah, I heard that for yourself, right? Second question. Alexa, what is a con artist?
A con artist is someone who is skilled at lying, cajoling, or using glib self-serving talk to swindle people. They are also known as swindlers.
Thank you. Now this next one, I hope Alexa picks it up because when I tried it before, with her, she kind of got it a little messed up. But here we go. Alexa, what is a snake salesman?
A snake oil salesman is someone who sells a product that is not really beneficial or is even harmful to people. In the past, there were people who sold a product called snake oil, which was supposed to have many benefits for your health, but it was actually not helpful at all. The name snake oil salesman has come to mean someone who sells a product that is not good for you.
Thanks again. Number 5. Alexa, what does it mean to conquer and divide?
The phrase conquer and divide refers to the tactic of defeating an opponent by splitting them into smaller groups and causing conflict among them. It implies that by dividing a group, it can be more easily controlled and conquered.
Now, does that sound kind of familiar as to what's been happening throughout our decades and generations here in this country? And look where we are today. Next one. Alexa, what is hatred? Let me try that again. Alexa. All right, next one. Let's try this one. Alexa, what is hatred?
Hatred is a strong negative emotion towards specific individuals, objects, or ideas. It is often caused by opposition or disgust towards something. It can lead to hostility, violence, and harm to others. Hatred is a powerful negative emotion that can hinder positive relationships and cause damage to both the person feeling hatred and the person or thing they hate.
Ah, oh, this is really coming into play now, isn't it? Let me try one closer to that one. Alrighty, let's go ahead and let's ask that major question that confused a lot of folks. That's going to affect them in their pocketbooks, their health, and everything else. So let's ask that question. Alexa, what is Obamacare?
Obamacare, officially called the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, is a health care reform law signed in 2010 by President Barack Obama. It provides subsidies for middle-income families and small businesses to pay for health care. It pays for this by taxing some health care providers and high-income families.
Now, Obamacare was initially given a change by the Republican Party, and it was changed from the Affordable Care Act. So let's ask that one question. Alexa, what is the Affordable Care Act?
According to Wikipedia, the Affordable Care Act, formerly known as the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act and informally as Obamacare, is a landmark U.S. federal statute enacted by the 111th United States Congress and signed into law by President Barack Obama on March 23, 2010.
So, folks, for those of you who wanted to get rid of Obamacare because of the person that was behind it, and you wanted to keep the Affordable Care Act, but you voted because you wanted, as I stated, to get rid of that Obamacare. Not realizing they're both in the same. It was just that the Affordable Care Act by the illustrious Republicans had a lot to do with the name Obamacare. So that's where we stand today. You have voted for the individual that wants to eliminate your health care that was taking care of you. Kind of strange, ain't it? I have a lot of choice words I can use, but I'm doing everything I can to hold back on it. But as I stated, on my platform, I'm upfront and I'm 100% honest with you. Yeah, you voted to get rid of your health care because of the name Obamacare. All right, I just hope we all kind of I just hope the 51 percenters are really learning a little about this. And as I stated before, there are a lot of avenues that you can take as far as you individually learning for yourself instead of depending, instead of having these attitudes within your mind about other people. You can learn this on your own, just like old school did. We no longer have Encyclopedia Britannicas and all of that good stuff. We have modern things like this little device I have right here to my left. Get that answer in a matter of seconds, and we couldn't even do that prior to elections. Folks, what's wrong with y'all? Sincerely, what has happened that this is supposed to be the greatest nation in the world? We have people that sacrificed their lives throughout times. And now we have gotten to the point where we are now to where we're self-destructing. Next 4 years is going to really prove that. Because as I stated before, you got the fox in charge of the hen house now. And all the money that comes with it. And then you have all these little cronies that are backing him as for the politicians. For their own personal and self-gain. And have you ever wondered why all the people that are in charge are billionaires and millionaires? It's for their own self-interest, folks. Come on, get real. We can't be this naive. Could have used a lot better word than that one, but I'm trying to keep it decent. That's about all old school has to say right now, because I can feel a little blood pressure going up, but I just ordered a couple of cases of popcorn because after January 20th, let the show begin. And I pray that it doesn't affect you, me, as much as I think it's going to. But we'll get through this. We've always gotten through things throughout the life of this country, whether good or bad, positive or negative. We've always survived. All that being said, this is old school Will. Keep your head above waters because that storm is definitely a brewing. I have to add this. After the elections, there are a lot of people, over 51%, celebrating. They're happy that change is about to come. But I want to ask you something. I can go to the service station now and I can fill my truck up. And I think fuel is probably around $3.10 a gallon. And I can remember when I had my old diesel truck, it cost me well over $100 to fill that thing up, and it only had a 35-gallon tank. And that was years gone by. I really don't understand this, and I just hope somebody can kind of help me out with this, because old schoolers, I'm not young anymore, but I'm having a hard time figuring out how we screwed ourselves, the 51 percenters. I don't think this was anything to celebrate. Not at all. Because it's like a wildfire coming over the hill. You see the smoke first, and then you see the flames, and next thing you know, you're right in the midst of it. Right in that mist. But the only problem with this is that we're all suffer. And I just don't get it. I just don't get how a person's heart could be so full of hate to where they can vote against their own best interest. It's just like I'm looking at the people that are going to be in charge, the people that have been put in the office, in the cabinet. And I'm listening to these folks talk. Why do you have so much hatred in your heart by the way you talk? There used to be a time where Republicans, Democrats, and Independents could sit down and talk to each other. I remember that. Most of you probably don't. You're probably too young to remember that. But now, you just mention the word Republican or mention the word Democrat, and that's an automatic shutoff switch to where you don't want to have anything to do with it. But it's affecting all of us. I will say this much. I long for the real Republican Party. The people that could sit down and talk to the people across the table from them. I really long for that. I don't expect to see that again in my lifetime. We're going to have midterm elections come up in 2 years. I wonder how that's going to go. I don't know, even know if I'm going to be around in 2 years. But I really wonder how that's going to go. Have you had enough? Are you going to still be celebrating? I have to admit, the first time in my entire life, I'm kind of worried. I'm worried for my grandkids. I'm worried for my daughter because I don't know how this is going to impact them. I'm worried for other family members, neighbors. One thing I noticed when I first moved out here where I am, everyone used to celebrate that first election with the person who we're talking about. They used to ride around in their golf carts and celebrate and show their flags and all of that good stuff. And that was back, in 2018, I believe. And now here it is in 2024. Now that it's beginning to set in, I don't see those flags flying. I don't see those golf carts with the flags on them. Is it because you don't want everyone to know what side of the field the fence you're on? Because as far as I see right now, there are a lot of people mad. Black, whites, Hispanics, Latinos, Asians, because they began to realize, I think we made a mistake. It's too late now, though. Too late. So all I can say is just, hey guys, just buckle up, put that safety helmet on, and get ready for the impact. Because it's already started. It's already started. And we haven't even reached Inauguration Day yet. We're having other countries turn against us. I wonder how many more are going to jump aboard. We have the billionaires and millionaires telling us what to do. Already. We have people with so many criminal offenses on their records until we can't even keep count of them. But they're the ones that's going to be running the show, running the country, telling us what to do, making the decisions. And I can promise you it's not going to be in our best benefit. Yep. We got a lot to worry about. A lot to worry about. Well, guys, I'm not going to bore you to death, but I pray for you and I pray for this country. But we got to stop hating each other. We really do. And we need to get this country back on track to where it benefits the people that have supported it throughout its lifetime. And it's not our politicians that we put in office, because they're showing us what side of the fence they are on, and it's not our side. With all that being said, this is Old School Will again, thanking you for taking the time to listen to me and Alexa.